Should I PuG the next tier? Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Tonight, patch 9.05 lands on our shores of Azeroth. And it's not a particularly big patch. And in fact, a lot of people have been calling out Shadowlands fatigue and all that kind of stuff as to what is there going to be to do for the next little while. As after BlizzCon Online, it does look like patch 9.1, which will be the next season, the next tier, is going to be quite some time away. Maybe we're looking towards August or something like that. And of course, we've only just got into March. And being a little bit like, a Valor Point's going to carry me over for that amount of time, and I'm kind of running out of things to do. Also, what are you doing about your guild? Now that patch 9.05 is here, are you going to be sorting out your guild and all that stuff? So let's address a few of those issues. It's going to be like a bit of a general update to answer those questions. In terms of a guild, let's start there. I have spoken to a number of guilds about placement. But at the moment, I've not got that motivation to go and do that. Mainly because I'm not overly interested in Castle Nathria. We had that rating of the raids. I don't rate Castle Nathria particularly highly in its Mythic version. I think in Heroic it's really good. But in its Mythic version, I don't really want to farm the Stone Legion Generals. And it's kind of funny to see, you know, people like Max and that tweet out. Is that they base their reclears on how many times they need to kill Stone Legion Generals each week on Mythic. I did not kill Sire Denathrius, and I'm kind of okay with that. Surprisingly, I was not okay with it when my guild died in Argus, and we still had Argus himself to kill. But this time around, I'm actually fine. I did do a couple of pulls, didn't kill it, but I'm okay. I'm totally fine on that. So, what do I want to do? Well, I've got choices, and this is the interesting thing. I have choices. Now I have this opportunity, and I always kind of look at guild movement as an opportunity. What can I do with this? Well, firstly, what I could do is take a little step back from WoW. In fact, I've taken a step back for about a month of playing other games. We had RPG February, which is going to be... It's two things. One, it's a break from WoW, and also research, because the main reason we did RPG February was... this is on the stream, of course, is because... leading up to the Shadowlands, massive amounts of war and arguments around the Covenant system, in particular about how it reflected, in many people's eyes, RPGs, and how RPGs had meaningful choices. Of course, we had that meme flying around for a very long time, and still to this day, and I didn't agree with that a lot. Now, I'm not... It's important that you know that I'm a gamer first, a World of Warcraft fan second. I didn't discover Warcraft 3. I've never played it, which was much to the annoyance of some of you. I've never played Warcraft 3. I have gone back and played Warcraft 1 and 2, purely for curiosity's sake. But World of Warcraft was my first step into the Warcraft universe, and Blizzard's universe, really. I think I played Rock and Roll Racing when I was a kid at some point, but I was never like, that's me, I'm hooked on Blizzard after Rock and Roll Racing or the Vikings. I did play that at some point as well. I was an MMO player. I played MMOs before World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft came along while I was in my MMO period of time, which is typically for many people when they're students and you have a lot of time, and an MMO is like an idyllic fit because it requires so much of your time and you have a lot of free time. So that's my first step into World of Warcraft. But I've been gaming since I was a child. In fact, I'm thinking of doing a video looking at my history through gaming, because it's looking back at it now as to where we are now. It's kind of interesting, even if it's just for me. So, when it comes to World of Warcraft right now, I'm not missing grinding, I'm not missing any of that stuff, but I am feeling the fire, which I think has been reflected in the TDPs, to play more World of Warcraft in terms of variety of classes. I've not really had the opportunity to do that for a while, since probably Legion. BFA was so Altum friendly that I didn't want to play my alts, because going into them, the prospect of what I had to do once I'd capped them was very nauseating. So it wasn't a case of it's difficult to level in BFA, and we all know the meme with that and me getting banned. It was more a case of, do I want to start grinding Azerite power, getting corruptions and doing all that kind of stuff and essences? No, I don't. And by the time 8.3 rolled around, and certainly to the stage where it made it much easier to do those things, I'd already checked out, because I checked out at the beginning of the expansion. So Shadowlands isn't like that. Shadowlands is much more alt-friendly. We still have the Renown grind, which is definitely cumbersome, but it's not the most unwieldy thing in the world. And doing a bit of Torghast. But even a bit of Torghast multiplied by 12 characters is kind of off-putting for many of you. I understand that. And even for me to an extent. So right now, my best fun that I'm having in World of Warcraft is just playing whatever I feel like. And that's been really stress relieving and put a lot of life back into the game for me. Is just be like, oh, I want to play Resto Shaman. Okay, now I want to play Havoc Demon Hunter. Now I'll play some Demonology Warlock. And thankfully, we had an add-on made. This is how bad BFA was, by the way. We had an add-on made in BFA that would spin a wheel of what we would play during TDPs. Because I was like, well, I don't want to lean too heavily in one way or anything like that. I'd like it to be random. So someone built us an add-on for that. We've reinstalled it now, so you should see that upcoming in some videos. We'll spin the wheel and we'll see what we're going to play that day. And that should give us some nice variety in situations and make a lot more fun content for you guys. And that's also where my joy currently is. When it comes to my main character, I don't even know what I'm going to play. As I said, I've spoken to a number of guilds. I've committed to nothing at all. I know some advertisements have gone out saying, join our guild because Preacher's joining. Those are just guys that I've spoke to. I've not committed to anything at all. So don't read too much into that, because I honestly don't know what I'm going to be doing, because as I mentioned in the opening of this video, part of me is considering PuGing the next tier, because after the Raider.io thing, a lot of people have this impression that we're in a bubble, which we work hard not to do that. We PuG pretty much everything we can on the channel for you guys to get a relevant picture. But in the lower level stuff, it's a lot of difficulty, because let's face facts, a lot of content that revolves around lower level stuff is not that appealing to a lot of members of the audience. Although people still want you to have the idea of doing that, but there's only a certain amount of hours in the day. So I'm kind of considering for next tier, even though the bosses look incredible, like the names of the bosses at least that we're going to be fighting in the next raid tier look fantastic. I'm somewhat tempted to PuG it to have that experience. Which means for a period of time I'd have to give up on doing Mythic, but I've kind of offsetting that with the idea that heroic PuGing is going to be harder, as hard, if not harder than Mythic, to do that. But it may be very frustrating to me. That's my problem with it, is it may become very, very frustrating. And I know, like, for the way I like to play World of Warcraft, I know it's a really inefficient use of my time, but it could be an interesting journey to go on at least once. Since I haven't had to do that since vanilla, right? I joined a guild and got stuck back in vanilla. So it would be an experience. Let's put it that way. It would be an experience. So I'm not committed to what class I'm going to play next tier. It's probably not a hunter if things stay as they are. It looks like it's going towards BM. If I do have this, again, I'm looking at opportunities, right? If I do have the opportunity to sort of refresh, I probably won't choose the BM hunter. Yeah, I'll have to see how it comes with PTR testing and things like that, which I hopefully still will be involved in. But as it stands right now, I haven't committed to anything. And right now, considering it looks like there's going to be months more of Nathria farming, I'm okay with not doing that. I'm okay with not doing that and basically leveling all the characters up so we have a lot more alt content, a lot more multi-spec variety on the channel. That's where my drive is right now with World of Warcraft, and that's what I've been spending my off time doing. For those of you not in that position, though, I did want to mention a little bit, and this isn't me... I have to be careful because people take this the wrong way. I would say for like 7 years, I exclusively played World of Warcraft. And I consider that a mistake. But as I said at the top of this video, I'm a gamer first. I've been a video game fan since I was like 4 years old. And when I got into World of Warcraft, I fell in love so hard and so deeply. It was the only game I played for like 7 years. And I missed out on so many mega wonderful experiences. And what I did, which I think is my biggest mistake, is World of Warcraft became like a lifestyle habit, rather than me playing a video game for fun. For a long time, I was building my day around when I was going to play WoW, what I was going to do during that time, when I was going to do my dailies, certainly during like the Burning Crusade and Mr. Pandaria eras and Wrath of the Lich King. When I would get home from work, I would plan, I would be on Discord, I was like, right, I finish work now, let's get going at like this time, and that'd be it till the night, and then I go to sleep, go to work, come back, and I build my entire life around my habitual, my play of World of Warcraft. Now I was happy doing that. I want to be clear on that. I wasn't happy. I was very happy doing that. I enjoyed doing that. But at the same time, I missed out on a ton of experiences that other video games provide. And I think very realistically, probably an enormous proportion of the stuff that I did during that time was utterly unnecessary. That's the reality of it. Did I need to do all those dailies? No, not really. I was long past Exalted for a really long time. I had collections of gold and various currencies and things like that. So about probably late Mr. Pandaria, I think after I'd gone full-time on YouTube and I was playing World of Warcraft like for work and for fun, That's a lot of hours, certainly on raid nights. You're talking like you're in front of World of Warcraft for like 16 hours a day. I needed something different, and my palate was dried up. And also, there wasn't much happening in the game, which is where we are now, right, in the Shadowlands. That's where we are right now. The difficulty I had with that is I expected World of Warcraft to continue to provide for me, and this is where it gets difficult. And I see a lot of this on forums and things, is I'm paying monthly for this, and World of Warcraft is my game. There's not enough content for me. The reality is, there is never going to be enough content for somebody who plays World of Warcraft exclusively and plays nearly every single day. That's never going to happen. No matter how much Blizzard makes, you're going to consume it and consume it and consume it and consume it. It's going to get eaten up. World of Warcraft for me is best played with a focus and then the ability to move to something else when it's appropriate. Because certainly in the Shadowlands has been so friendly with how it's done stuff that you really no real reason to play all the time. But I was in that same position where I expected I would be upset if there wasn't more stuff for me to do. But the reality is there'll never be enough for me to do. Certainly once your tastes come in, so if you're not a big fan of M+ and raiding, or you're not a big fan of X and Y, that entire content path is locked off to you because you just don't enjoy doing it anyway. So you end up getting a bit frustrated and angry. Every expansion since then, I've taken time off and played some other stuff. Every single one, despite doing this for a job. Like, let's be clear on this. I keep up to date. I read the forums every single day. I check up with every patch note. I check the PTR. I do all the testing. I've been playing World of Warcraft Shadowlands, remember, for almost a year before it came out, right? I've been playing this Shadowlands for a really, really long time. Yeah, in the middle of that, throw in different games, a little bit of flavor. And I kind of just wanted to say, and I know it's pretentious or whatever, but I just kind of say it's okay to play other stuff and not expect World of Warcraft to constantly provide fresh new things for you every single time you individually reach your content cap, essentially what it is. Because I do that, and I do this for a living. It's fine. You're not falling behind, you're not missing out on anything. And certainly if you've got friends and you've got guildies, playing other games together is the lifeblood of guilds. Every guild I've been in for the last 10 years have played other games together offline, but I might be preaching to the choir here a little bit, but it's totally okay to be like, oh, I'm kind of done with World of Warcraft like on a day-to-day basis, so we're going to play some other things. I'd certainly recommend some of the games we play, like, you know, Divinity Original Sin 2, which we're currently playing through now. We've got over 80 hours in that game for 20 quid. It's like a month's WoW subscription, and still plenty more to come. And it's one of the best RPGs ever made, and it's a great time. It's a great experience. But I'm just saying it's okay. Try not to get frustrated too much at Blizzard. I don't think they've provided a lack of content in the Shadowlands, but no matter how much they provide, it wouldn't matter. You'll still consume it and consume it and consume it and consume it and consume it. And that's fine. That's the way it's going to be. At some point, if you play hardcore or even play casual, at some point you're going to have you reach your point. It's a little bit wrong to expect World of Warcraft to constantly be like, oh, okay, well, you're done, because we all finish at different rates. More. Because the quality is just going to suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer. So it's one of those things that I say, look, I was there, man. I did it for like 7 years of just playing World of Warcraft. And I know I filled that time with utterly banal shit that I could have been playing Dead Space or something that I really enjoyed and had a great time with years after the game came out, because I went back and started playing through all these experiences that I'd missed. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about here, is the guild stuff and that. But it's fine, you know. I get a bit sad reading forums of people like, oh, I play every single day and there's just not enough for me to do. Is the game dead? No. No, the game's not dead, but even Unlimited Buffet has a max amount of food attached to it, you know what I mean? You can't just keep taking and taking and taking and expecting more. It's not going to happen. I'm not saying the delay we're seeing with 9.1 is... I mean, it's in line with what they've done in the past. I just don't want you to get trapped like I was. I think that's the real takeaway here. After I stopped playing World of Warcraft every single day and started like mixing in some fresh flavors, which is all it is. I kind of look at it like food because I'm a big fat bastard, no doubt. But mixing in some other flavors, it makes it whole so much better. And after a month away of playing other games on stream for like, you know, many hours a day, that fire comes back. That's what I have right now. That fire comes back to play some World of Warcraft, and you're like, oh, I want to go play this. I want to go do that in WoW. I want to go and do that. It's just, if you're bored and frustrated, just waiting for Blizzard to make something is not going to pay off very well. Yeah, okay, I'm going to leave it there. All right, thank you for listening, guys, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.